Alright, hey, what's up guys? It is Drew Lopez back here with another video. I know I haven't really been uploading as much as I used to in the past, if that was even being uploading on a regular-ish basis, but in today's CarX video, we are taking the Class 5 Dodge Viper and turning it into a drag car. I have been experimenting with drag cars such as this Thunderstrike, the old Charger. Does look very drag car. My typical setup that I have been going with my drag cars is getting spring length all the way up in the front and 20 centimeters in the rear, and bringing the stiffness all the way down. I don't even touch this besides bringing the camber out in the vehicle. And then wheel diameters, since I am a big drag car guy, I typically have my rear wheel higher or a lower diameter and a fatter tire. Tire width is all the way up, and typically I will go in between a 215 to a 245 for the front tire. Then air pressure is all the way down, and I like to be about 100 to 135 kPa PSI. And the front wheel adhesion, typically I am running 120 front and rear. The rear base all depends on if you want your tires sticking out of your car like so, but I like to have my cars looking clean. Then rear tire profile is typically all the way up, and I like to sit around 50 to 65 for 50 to 60% tire profile for the front tire. But as I said, we're building the Class 5 Dodge Viper. And Tyler, this video is mainly made for you, since I know you are having some trouble building your Class 5 Corvette, your Carnage 7C, but we are building the Voodoo in today's video. Purchased that for $975,000, or $950,000, however much it was. But we will throw ultimate setup on this. We will go into tuning immediately. Throw my quick drag tune that I always use for these specific cars. Bring my camber out. Just try and bring out that camber as much as possible. Leave a little bit in the rear. Now, since this is a Viper, I am not going to destroy it. Air pressure front and rear all the way down, like I said. Adhesion is all the way up. Bring that tire profile up, depending on how ugly you want your car to look. But like I said, I typically do go with this, and it will look a little bit better once you have more specific setup. Now in this case, I'm going to run a 265 front, so I still am getting some decent amount of grip. Then I'll take that tire profile down to 45. Once again, I'll go with a 15 rear tires, so I have a rear wheel, so I do have more of a aggressive tire. Not quite 70%. We'll go with a 55% tire profile. We'll tune this engine all the way up to make the most amount of power. And as it sits right now, it will make 1,352 wheel horse at 992 foot-pounds of torque. Peak horsepower, peak power comes on at probably 8,500 RPM. Max torque comes out at about 5,000. Now for the transmission, if it's a 4.0, I will typically go down to a 360 or a 355 gear, but that will all have to be seen in my testing. For now, we will start out with a 365 gear and brakes. Tune that up, and we'll take the brake bias back to 50%. Now I am experimenting with this at this point. Now we're gonna go to the body kits and just see, because I don't want my cars looking like absolute doggy dookie. You can have the challenge. Got the CW on there. Throw the custom on there so we can see the twin turbo action. Typically, if there is a option for removing the mirror, I will. Do tend to put cages in my drag cars just because why not? Rear bumper, leave that stock. Rear spoiler. Grayson, you need to go. Now, with the rear cosmetic, I don't really care what you guys would do, but this is just my personal opinion. Now, with the full drag car setup, I typically don't use the CarX seats whenever I am building my drift cars. I am mainly using the Takata or the Psychopath or whatever you want to call that. But since it is drag car, I do go with a CarX for driver and passenger. Then wheel, I typically for my drift builds will go with a mono wheel, but it all depends on what you like. For this, I think I will also go with the CarX wheel. Handbrake, if you want to put one in here, you can. For your trans brake or something like that, which I will do sometimes. Then shifter, I do like the hardcore sequential. Or if I'm feeling spicy, I will go with the racing part thing. I can't tell what that says. And typically, my other Viper build, I did have the Enkei RPF ones. These wheels here, but that is a little too generic, so I think I might go with the set of the Volk Racing CE28s. And now I'm broke after making $3.5 million. But I will show you my other drag car builds first. The first car that I built was that Thunderstrike, like I showed in the beginning. Threw this together last night, just threw that quick tune that I did. The Viper on. This thing is pushing out 1,562 horsepower at 9,500 RPM, and about that in torque. Then next up we have my other Viper. Like I said, I did have the RPFs on this one, and I have the Oracle Dean Carney style body kit for it with the twin turbos sticking out of the hood. Then I do have another car that I built as well last night. Did build a little sleeper MR2 thing. This thing is a very low horsepower car in my mind. It makes 825 horsepower at 8,800 RPM. And it says Newton meters, so let's look for us Americans. It is 582 foot-pounds of torque. This thing does not spin at all. And then I also believe I have a Corvette in Class 4 that I have built and not tested. The old ZR1. Which you can see this thing has more gasser-like than anything. But that is typically the inspiration that I do go with, since it works and they hook. But now it's back to the main build of today's video. The Voodoo. We are going to go to multiplayer, a closed session if I was live streaming. Those of you that still do follow me, I would let you guys have that code to get in and have a subscriber tandem battle or drag race thing. But I do like the red ring since it is another great thing about the Ultimate Plus setup. It comes with all the angle in the world, so you don't have that typical crappy drag car life. For once, this car actually is lying Definitely not the fastest, but it could be changed with some tuning. thing. And what we're gonna do now is just for my own experiment, I want to check out that Corvette that I built. Next video will be going over my most favorite cars to drive in this game. I feel like next car I should build should either be this or to help Tyler out in building the Carnage 7C. You guys let me know in the comments below. Alright, we'll go back over here to the end ring, and the red ring. And see what this thing has going on. We'll give it the burnout test. First try that we'll do a burnout in second. Never seen a Draco be able to do that. Now, for those of you, I just want you to know that I am a Mustang guy. And that is going to do it for today's video. Peace out, y'all.